Terreon Gully. I love J. Ross TV.
What's up, y'all? This your boy J. Ross hanging out in St. Louis at the Sheldon with the cat. Mr. Terreon Gully, y'all, drummer extraordinaire in town hitting with Miss Diana Reeves, y'all. And we going to get right to it, man, because he got to bounce like a dog. And I just want to say Mark Cullenberg hiding to the left. But yeah, Robert Glassman drummer. But no, we get him next. Hey, T, let's get right to it, man. Right. Now, you play with some of everybody, every genre and all that. How did you prepare yourself growing up?
All right, first growing up, played at Bible Fellowship Church in East St. Louis. I like to say early church, early gospel before the new wave where cats are like every musician playing every instrument. You know, I was just drums, just straight pocket. You know, that's where my introduction to music was definitely the church and listening to P-Funk, Cameo, you know, all those guys on the radio, Ohio players. So I come from the early funk school, but then I was fortunate to get to Lincoln Senior High School under the tutelage of Ron Carter.
Yeah.
And that just changed my life, you know. He made me sit out in the hallway and learn how to read music, you know, with a theory book. I did that for the first year. Then after that, you know, sky was the limit. You know?
Yeah, but now, what inside of you made you take it serious, you know, to see, you know, back then you could see the future, like, I want to do this and do that?
Well, I tell you exactly. First, not getting paid in church, and then we eventually started getting paid and making like $20 a Sunday. You know, there 10 days a week. You know, get that $20. So I paid for my first drum set. I appreciate it. But in high school, I had a chance to go to Eastern United States Percussion Camp up at Eastern Illinois University under Johnny Lane. And there I met a bunch of people in Dugu Chancellor, Marvin Sparks, Bubba Bryant, Ruben Alvarez, bunch of great people. In this camp, we did everything: timpani, marimba vibes, marching band, classical snare drum, and all. So they had all these professionals from the different genres.
Hey, now, did you take it serious then, or was it, you know, you still had the girls on the side and football and baseball?
I mean, now for me, it was church and school and the jazz band. The jazz band at Lincoln, we had to say, you're talking about sacrifices. My mother was just talking about this. I used to have to walk from Lincoln, from my home in East St. Louis to Lincoln Senior High School, which was probably a few miles. You know, it wasn't no short walk.
Yeah.
And we have to wake up before the sun came out and walk into school in the dark. Because the jazz band, we had mandatory jazz band practice before school. This wasn't included in school. This was before school if you wanted to be in a jazz band. So we practiced like 7:30 in the morning, you know, before school even started. Then afterwards, you know, until the sun went down. So some sacrifices there. And that was a serious thing. That was the first time I ever was dedicated to something and had tutelage under somebody who was knew what he was talking about and was just a great educator and really inspired us and showed us the way about jazz.
So in growing up in that jazz class, were you able to incorporate some of the gospel stuff you had learned previously?
I mean, that's just in you. You know, that's just in you. Like the first time I played, the very first song I ever played with the jazz band, it was, I think it was Chameleon or Cafe Amour, one of the two. All the cats remember, but I don't remember. And it was just straight funk, so I just did that. That was right in my vein. But every morning we would sight read some Basie, Duke Ellington, you know, Thad Jones, Woody Herman, just straight up big band. And then after that I started to get into Art Blakey, Elvin Jones, Tony Williams, Max Roach. And it got more and more involved as I got older.
Hey, do you find that the young cats coming up now can't read, find it like a hindrance in getting some of the bigger jobs that requires reading?
Not necessarily. You know, I don't necessarily find it I think it's a great advantage, but I know it's a lot of guys that are on big jobs that don't necessarily know how to read music, especially with a lot of the groups now. You rehearsing, you know, like if you're talking about pop, R&B, you know, they rehearse, you know, 4 months, 4 weeks, 8 weeks before they do a tour. So you learning by ear and I know a lot of cats, some cats, you know, write out charts and things like that. You know, some people that may not know how to read music, they know how to notate it enough to get the job done. But I think for me, it was definitely a blessing and something I'm very proud of to be able to do. And I tell cats, you know, all the time, you give me 2 weeks of your time, I can teach you to read, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, but I don't see where reading big deal at on some of these cats you calling now because everything's tracked.
Everything's what?
Tracked.
Oh,
You know?
definitely. That's what I'm saying. So it's not necessarily, like you don't get a lot of, like if you're in LA and or Nashville and you're doing sessions and y'all just recording, you know, they're just going to put the chart in your face and you just go. You don't have time to learn it, you know, for a week or whatever it takes to learn it. You know, so that's something totally different than actually being on somebody's gig where y'all, you know, doing one song for 6 hours. You know, by then you got it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different. It's different depending on what level and what you're actually doing as far as playing music and who you playing with and what you're actually doing.
Yeah. Hey, at what point, I guess, or level did you think to yourself, I'm a professional now? You know, as opposed to amateur. You know, did you have like a awakening?
I wouldn't say that. I think for me, in high school, I was working with my high school band director, Ron Carter's, his professional group. You know, so I've been playing professionally since, actually, if you say professionally, if you say getting paid to do what you do,
right,
that's professional. So that's been, I would say, since junior high school. You know, so, but as far as like on a high level, I don't know if I ever had like
an epiphany, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about like in the future for you now? What you got going on? Anything in particular?
I'm just writing music right now. I'm trying to work on getting my own project and do some things. I got all these ideas in my head. You know, you hear some of it on some of the projects that I do with other people, but I'm ready to do some other stuff and just actually, you know, just to spread my wings and keep doing what I'm doing. I love what I do. You know, I'm blessed to do what I do. Just hope to keep doing that and just keep taking it up, you know, next level.